Hey everybody, I'm Chris, and this is the second video in this videos about teaching languages. And today I'm going to show the basics of using gestures to make things more comprehensible. Now, when we're teaching a language to people who don't know it, they're doing a lot of different things to gather the meaning. Okay, if they see it on the board and written with translation, they're probably connecting sound to the meaning in writing. They're probably also focused on the presenters or the conversationalists' tones of voice. They're obviously looking at context. They're looking at actions. And most of these things are happening together, right? People are, it's not like people are just, looking at the board and reading along. They're reading and they're connecting the dots and they're listening and they're connecting, listening to reading. There's a bunch of things going on, right? Now with gestures are a great tool for any language teacher because they're simple to learn. You only have to really explain them once or twice to students. After you use them for a little while, they'll basically become automatic. And they will enable you to make almost any kind of language a little bit more comprehensible. And they're especially useful for kids who have reading difficulty and anybody with a hearing issue, because a gesture communicates without you needing to read or necessarily listen. Okay, so anyway, we're going to take a look at some basic gestures. Okay, so here we go. So when we are using gestures, we have to, in languages like German and Spanish and French and so on, we have to indicate the person, who's doing the saying. That's like I, or you, or he, or she, we, you guys, or they. We have to indicate the person. We have to indicate the meaning of the verb. Okay, like what does essen or whatever actually mean? Okay, and it's good because we have a set of gestures for pointing and a set of gestures for action. So for I point at myself. Ich, I, ich. Okay. For you, I point directly at the person I'm talking to, right? Ich, and I use one hand and one finger, okay? If I want to talk about him or her, that's er or sie, right? Now, so here, for to eat, it's this, right? I'm using a fork, essen, right? For cat, meow, Katze, meow. Okay, and for Paris, well, what do we have for Paris? We have the Eiffel Tower, obviously. Okay, now for the actions. Okay, essen, will. For will, I point at my heart. Will is to want, right? Hast means you have. Du hast, you have. This is to have, right? Geht. Okay. Now in German, we can use gehen for two things. We can use it to go or to walk. So we can either do this, right? We can either do this or we can do this. Okay? So if I wanted to say these sentences, ich will essen. Ich will essen. Okay? Ich will essen. Okay? Du hast eine Katze. Meow. Okay. Du hast eine Katze. Geht nach Paris. Paris. Right? So these are basic gestures. Right? Now I can use the same gestures for asking questions. For example, hast du eine Katze? Right? What does that mean? Hast du eine Katze? Ich habe eine Katze. Meow. Right? Or geht nach Paris? Ja. Okay. Geht nach Paris. Okay. Will Ich essen? Ja. Ich will essen. All right, now, for plural forms of verbs, we're going to do the same thing that we did with the individual forms, but we're just going to use two fingers or two hands. So, wir wollen schlafen. It's like we want to sleep. Okay, so wir is circle, everybody, right? Wir wollen, point to our heart, we want schlafen, right? Schlafen, right? So, wir wollen schlafen. Ja. Okay. Now, for you guys, okay, we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to point with two fingers. Ihr habt zwei Katzen. Meow. Okay. Ihr habt zwei Katzen. Meow. Okay. And for they, okay, we're going to use, okay, sie, we're going to point sideways, okay? Sie, or sie, either way. Sie gehen nach New York, right? So, wir wollen schlafen, ja. Wir wollen schlafen. Ihr habt zwei Katzen. Okay. Sie gehen nach New York. Right? Okay, so a few more gestures. To do language teaching, there's 7 verbs that we need. Okay, 7 verbs. They're the super 7 verbs. Dr. Terry Waltz coined the term, and they're the most frequently used words. And you can get a huge amount of work done in a language merely knowing these 7 verbs. And those verbs are, first of all, to exist, like there is or there are. To be, right? Like I am tall, or she is intelligent, right? To have, like to own things, like I have a dog, okay, or she has 12 cats, right? To be located in Spanish, estar, right? The verb for to be located in Spanish is also obviously for feelings and so on. Then we have to want and to go, right? And the last one that we probably need in almost any language is to like, or for something to be pleasing. In Spanish, gustar. Okay, now, here are the gestures that I use, okay? I have a set that I use every year. They don't change. Students, depending on the story that we choose, will often come up with other gestures. So, for example, es var, okay, is this, just a fist. Okay, es var. Okay, there is, or sorry, there was. Es var. Now, for present tense, we just use the one hand. For past tense, we just point over our shoulder. So, es var, like past tense. Okay. Var, I don't do anything. Okay, if there's no gesture going with it, the students know, well, this, it is, or is located in, right? Okay, for wollte, okay, or willen, we point to our heart, to want, right? To like, we do this, and to not like, we do this. And we can also use, any kind of no gesture, right? To go, we do this, okay? To have, we do this, okay? And for var, same thing. Okay, so here is a basic German story. So I'm going to use gestures. I'm going to use point and pause. I'm going to do basically everything I possibly can to teach you a very basic story in German. This is a 6 or 7 sentence story. It's super simple. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so es war ein Hund. Es war ein Hund. There was a duck. Es war ein Hund. Der Hund. Woof. Der Hund war klein. 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 Der Hund, woof, war nicht groß. Der Hund war klein. Der Hund war klein. Der Hund, woof, war in Boston. Der Hund war in Boston. Der Hund war nicht in Vancouver. Der Hund, woof, war in Boston. Der Hund, woof, wollte Pizza essen. Okay. Der Hund, woof, wollte Pizza essen. Der Hund wollte Hamburgers nicht essen. Okay. Der Hund wollte Hamburgers nicht essen. Der Hund wollte Pizza essen. Ja? Ja. Okay. He, okay, means he. Magte Pizza. Okay. He magte Pizza. Der Hund magte Hamburgers nicht. Der Hund magte Pizza. Okay. Er ist nach New York gegangen. Okay. Der Hund ist nach New York gegangen. Der Hund ist nicht nach Vancouver gegangen. Der Hund ist nach New York gegangen. Es war in New York Pizza. Okay? Es war in New York Pizza. Der Hund magte Pizza. Der Hund hatte Pizza. Der Hund hatte Pizza. Der Hund hatte keinen Hamburger. Okay? Der Hund hatte keinen Hamburger. Der Hund, woof, hatte Pizza. Er war glücklich. Er war glücklich. Der Hund war glücklich.